Hello, planet Earth. I'm Kuunda. Happy late New Year. A few days late. Haven't made a video in a while. Hello, Canadian Libertarian. This is a response to a Facebook meme comment that I made months ago. This video is probably about 3 or 4 months late, but hey, better than 12. So, let's get into this a little bit. Firstly, so you can get caught up, I'll link Canadian Libertarians video in the description bar, and you can see the meme that we're talking about. It's a Velociraptor meme, and the whole premise of it is basically right-wing libertarianism advocates for giving tax cuts to the wealthy. I never said only the wealthy, but advocates for tax cuts to the wealthy. Not my meme, by the way. I'm resharing it. I didn't create it. But hey. And the end of the meme is, doesn't that mean they'll have more money to buy politicians? And Canadian Libertarian took the time to respond to that, and I'm responding. So the biggest crux of the entire video, aside from the condescension and what some people would call mansplaining, especially considering it seems like he was under the impression that I was a woman. Not that I'm got any hard feelings about that, but the crux of his argument was basically a no true Scotsman, no true libertarian thing. Like, unless you're 100% libertarian purist, you're not libertarian at all. And that's basically bullshit, at least as far as I see it. I can understand why he is of that way, because he is the Canadian Libertarian. It's his stick. He wants to be consistent, and I can't blame him. We need more libertarians, so I'm not berating him for that really at all, but I'm just addressing what his argument was. And it almost seems like what he was saying was, unless you're an anarcho-capitalist, you're not a libertarian. Basically, anarcho-capitalism and anarcho-capitalists, AnCaps, are the only libertarians. Now, I'm not intending to really diminish Canadian libertarians' perspective. I've grown up on the internet basically my entire life. It's the generation I am. Most of that time, I've been a libertarian and really politically involved. So, when this video came across as like a primer to libertarianism, let me explain it to somebody who obviously doesn't know what they're talking about, that seemed a little bit silly to me. I think the thing here is that it's not a lack of information, it's more of a disagreement on whether libertarianism is black and white or whether it's a spectrum. Canadian Libertarian thinks that either you're a libertarian or you're an authoritarian, and there's no gray area in there. And I can understand being of that perspective, but I don't think that's gonna get the cause of liberty advanced anywhere. I think it's just gonna keep it in the periphery, and that's sad. So with that said, I've got more meme to show. I'm doing it on my phone, so don't be surprised that it's a little low quality, and if you've got knowledge of any free video editing software or pretty affordable video editing software, let me know, because it would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get to this meme. So, my personal opinion, I think Canadian Libertarian would be either right on that little Google Maps pin right at the top of the diamond or damn close to it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But this black and white attitude that he's kind of promoting, where unless you're libertarian purist, you're not libertarian at all, is self-defeating to the movement, I think. I think anybody in any of the blue, the centrist, the right, or the libertarian area, even authoritarians, they likely have some libertarian beliefs. And like the text at the bottom says, we should be focusing on where people are libertarian and trying to not allow libertarian movements to be less libertarian where it can be avoided. Basically, we're on the land that's currently called Canada. You know it. It's in your name. I know it. And here, fucking a quarter of a century. People like free healthcare, certain socialist things. I don't think people are likely to give up all that. But I think there is a thirst for more liberty as far as a lot of different issues go. And I think those are the areas that we should be focusing on. I think you realize it too. You've recently, I don't know if you're still doing this, but as far as I know, you're still kind of gunning for the PPC. And I don't blame you for that. That's probably the party closest to what your beliefs are. But it's a matter of compromise. And I'd be lying if I said that I didn't do the same thing. For a while, I was trying to bring liberty values to the Green Party. How that worked out might be a topic for another video. But we're kind of doing the same thing as far as that goes. Or I did it, you're trying it now. We'll see how that goes. But the point I'm trying to make is we want to make the libertarian parties, liberty movements, all these kind of things as accessible to people who are libertarian leaning, even if they're not libertarian purists. There's a need out there. The governments at all levels, whether they be the federal government, the provincial governments, band governments, municipal governments, or lots of other organizations that I'm sure people can come up with, a lot of them are pretty fucking overreaching and somewhat out of control. And the more of us that want to be independent, want to do things for ourselves, that can only help us. Now, as far as I can tell, this one is American. It's an American meme, but I think it illustrates the point really well. On the top, we have 3 doors. Door number 1, trying to appeal to never Trump Republicans by highlighting agreement on free trade, simplified legal immigration, tax cuts, and peaceful global democracy. Door number 2, trying to appeal to progressives by highlighting agreement on criminal justice reform, LGBT rights, non-interventionism, voter access, ending corporate welfare and the drug war. And then we have door number 3, screaming taxation is theft, never shutting the fuck up about cake, making conspiracy theories about neocons, and harassing strangers with info on the Fed. And a sad number of libertarians just want to knock down that door number 3. And taxation is theft, no doubt about it. Unless you've been asked what you want to be done with your taxes, unless you have a say, your taxes are being stolen from you. Our taxes are being stolen from all of us. That is something I think we agree on. And to be honest, I think qualitatively we agree on way more things than we don't. That being said, once we acknowledge taxation as being theft, there's really 3 places we can go with that. Firstly, taxation could be completely abolished. I don't think that's very likely. People could rally the government and could acknowledge that these tax dollars are being stolen from the people. They don't really have any say in where they're going, except for that popularity contest we have with each government every 4 years. But they have to be a lot more responsible with them. Maybe that's a pie-in-the-sky idealist dream. I don't know. But my understanding, if we have politicians that acknowledge taxation being theft, maybe they would be a little less liberal with how they throw money around. Or 3, a combination of both. Abolishing some taxes, reducing some taxes, and holding government to the fire to make sure that the things that they do spend the taxes that they still end up collecting are the things that we actually want them to be spending tax money on. I know none of that is a libertarian's wet dream. Personally, I like voluntarism, or minarchism, or combinations of all of these things that are libertarian-esque. But that said, we're in Canada. Lots of people like their provided health care, for example. There's lots of things that people like, and we have to keep in mind that we're trying to win hearts here. We're not trying to kind of show off who's the most principled libertarian. So I want to wrap this up for now. I appreciate the opportunity for dialogue. I appreciate what you're doing to try and bring libertarianism more into the mainstream. We need more of us to really be doing that. And it's not really easy with the political options that we have available to us right now. So, this has been good. I hope we have more opportunities for this kind of thing in the future. And yeah, I hope everyone has a awesome night, and stay tuned if you want to see more.